Hi Gemini, welcome to your November 2022 General Love Reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general love reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Gemini. This will not resonate with every Gemini that watches this message, and because this reading is general, not every single message may be for you. So please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else who needs to hear that message. And if this reading is not for you at all, Gemini, I highly suggest checking out your other signs and different placements. Hi, cross-watchers, you're very welcome here if you're interested in a Gemini. Who wouldn't be? I'd like to remind Gemini and cross-watchers that energy is fluid, and this simply means you may feel like I'm describing a certain situation in the reading where you feel the roles are flipped or reversed, and that's completely okay. You're more than welcome to use your own discretion to flip those roles if that resonates with your specific situation the best. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and get this reading started. I'm first going to use my sound bowl to clear and set the energy, so if you are listening to this using headphones or the volume's kind of loud right now, I do suggest turning it down a little bit just for this part because I don't want your ears to hurt. So let's tune in. All right, so let's see the energy that's surrounding my Geminis in love and romance. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, anyone dealing with the Gemini. What is going on in love and romance for you guys? What will happen in November? What do you need to know about November in regards to love and romance? Let's see. Express your love. And it says, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Interesting. The letter E is sticking out to me as in, Eden, as in Eric, first, middle, last initial can mean something to someone, does not have to be the case. Even someone's like name or nickname ending with an E. But anyway, yeah, Gemini, I really do feel someone has been waiting to tell you something, wanting to tell you something, but was afraid you were going to reject them, afraid you didn't feel the same way, but it's all been building up to this boiling point where something has to be said, something needs to come out. I feel major throat chakra energy right now, so someone's been not fully expressing themselves to you the way they know they should. I feel you're picking up on it, Gemini, but you're kind of getting impatient. So there has been a shift in your energy they're kind of seeing, which is making them further want to speak on it finally, because you're not going to wait forever. Interesting. Someone could live by like a train station or a bus station, maybe like the subway. For someone out there, the tube, as they say in the UK. Open up. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or someone with Capricorn in their chart. Someone needs to open up if they want you to stay because you sense it and you're tired of waiting on it and you're tired of trying to get this person to budge. And you're not going to force anything that they don't want to do. But it's hard for them to open up to you, Gemini. I don't know. It's not like you're someone that's, maybe they find you intimidating. Maybe they find it a bit nervous to really come forward and speak on it because they don't want to embarrass themselves. But it is something you need to hear. And you're done with the wall that's kind of built up between the two of you that they try to maintain. I do feel they're doing it out of their own protection, but it's just fine. But then don't get me involved if you're not looking to ever be available to me, ever to be vulnerable to me, because that's what I need for me to feel better about this situation. If you need more time, okay, but I feel like you guys have been trying to go at this for a while, maybe since April. I don't know why I'm hearing April, but maybe you're dealing with an Aries or a Taurus. But it's just been too little for too long. So I wonder if someone's finally opening up because that's the only choice you're leaving them, Gemini. All right, let's see what the tarot has to say. Tell me more. Ooh, the Empress. Very interesting. Taurus energy, again, Libra energy as well at the dead center. So there is love here, a lot of love here. But someone didn't feel ready yet to show that, to express it. But now they are. Maybe it's because of that shift in your energy. Maybe it's because you threatened to walk away, or that's the energy you're putting out there to be. But someone wants to invest in this. Someone sees potential and growth, involvement here. They see you as a divine feminine for some of you guys, and a counterpart here. But I do feel, Gemini, similar to Sagittarius's reading. So if you have Sagittarius in your chart dealing with Sagittarius, check out the Sagittarius reading. But you're not doing chasing. If they are ready for it, you're waiting for them to come forward. And they have to speak the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help them God, or else you'll make the decision for them. But you know what you want in love and romance. And if they're ready to fight for it, if they're ready to work towards it, then you'll let them in. But if they continue to stifle you, if they keep you hanging, you're going to move on to your own fruition, to your own abundance. And they find that as a possibility that is kind of threatening them right now. They see you as being fine with or without them, but they don't know if they feel the same if you were to walk out, Gemini. They do find your beauty or your handsomeness to be intimidating as well for some of you guys. But let me pull out all the tarot first before we dive into it. Nine of Wands crossing the Sagittarius energy. Oh, Nine of Cups. Pisces energy. And there are two nines here. Someone's birthday could be June 9th, June 19th, perhaps May 29th for someone out there. You could be seeing 999. So there is the tipping point. There is the last step before something can come into full completion. Someone's going through the death process right now, closing out all their inner wounds or whatever so they can finally be ready for this. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and see. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. Scorpio energy. So yeah, I do feel, Gemini, someone recognizes that they disappointed you, that they didn't do enough, that you're starting to doubt this. You're starting to regret this. You're starting to feel like this was some sort of waste of time. If you guys already did decide to kind of cut things out or to pull back or to just walk away, they've been very upset over it. They've been kicking themselves over not doing enough to keep you staying, Gemini. And I feel that it's very hard for them to express their emotions. They may not be emotional people, or they didn't grow up in an environment that was safe for them to emotionally express how they feel with a certainty that with whatever they have to say, it would be safe. So that's why they held a lot back, but they're seeing that that's a pattern of closing up, of putting a guard up, of not being emotionally open and honest is something that continues to sabotage them. I do feel that someone's been very upset over what has happened between the two of you being fed up by this. And maybe, Gemini, with the Five of Cups and just with this imagery here where I'm seeing this guy trying to, I don't know, give a gift to this woman at the fountain, or try to express something to this woman in the fountain who she looks like she's kind of like rejecting or turning away. You may have felt a little bit rejected. Maybe you tried to get this person to open up. You tried to put your feelings out there, and it wasn't the response you hoped for. And I think you caught them off guard with that. I think they weren't prepared for you to come forward in such an emotionally honest way. So I think that they regret how they reacted to you because it made you close up now. Someone could have premature gray hair or starting to have silver gray hair from age naturally as that happens, or maybe someone uses that purple toner to get their hair that ashy blonde tone. But yeah, I do feel for most of you, this Five of Cups, there's a lot of regrets over what has or hasn't happened between the two of you, that someone's really starting to recognize that this is it. This is the last chance and the last opportunity to make things right or to finally go for it. The center of this is the Empress. This is Taurus energy, Libra energy, like I said, Venus energy. So I do feel they know the only way they can be in this with you, that you would give them a chance, is if you would they would be completely open, ready, prepared to work, to create, to develop, to put the effort in to do so. Because Gemini, there's something about this where you felt like you've done enough. Now you're putting the ball in their court and you're going to see what they do with it. Someone could have a creative career as far as something with the arts, something with music, with production, TV, makeup, anything like that, photography, modeling, whatever, right? That's just for some, not all. But I think that someone's ready to start something bigger now. It took a disappointment for them to really understand how much they hurt you or how much you were disappointed by it all. Now, with the Empress being dead center, I just got to say for someone out there, someone may be finding out they're pregnant. And that may be a huge changing point within this as well. Maybe someone hasn't told the other person that they're pregnant yet. And that may be news to be revealed for some, or maybe recently has been. But with this Empress here, I think Gemini, they're really seeing what they're missing out on. They're seeing everything that they could lose if they didn't give this a shot. And you are someone that's beautiful on the inside and out. Truly, you have an amazing heart, but you know how to protect it. And you know when you've given enough and when there's not enough to build forward in this. But they do see you as anyone would be lucky to have you. You would be the amazing partner that would give into this. And I think if you guys have been a bit distant with one another, it's really giving them a big wake-up call of everything they're missing out on. Randomly, I'm picking up on someone's a really good cook or a really good baker. Don't know why. Maybe that's a hobby that they do. So they want more. They're ready to have more. But the problem is the 9 of Wands. Sagittarius energy. So what I feel with this 9 of Wands is that because of their lack of action, their lack of conversation, their close-upness, it's kind of like there was a wall between the two of you on their end, but you just added to it because they weren't willing to open up the way you needed them to in a specific event. Again, for some of you, it was like you put your feelings out there and you felt rejected. And I think they only did that because they weren't ready, they weren't prepared. They didn't think they wanted what you could have given, what you had to offer at the time. But it did hurt. And I think this person truly does regret the way they hurt you. But it's something you'll remember, Gemini. And it's not like you're the person that holds grudges per se, but obviously if this happened recently or even something that still weighs on your mind, it's always going to be there as, can they really open up? Can they really be the person that will go for this and work on this with me? Or are they just going to one day close up again? But there is someone who's been through a lot, I feel, or felt like they've put all into this. And to try to make this work or to continue to make this work is something that someone's still not trusting of, especially if it's been a while. But what's crowning this is the 9 of Cups, Pisces energy. So what I feel with this is that, yeah, I think if you had to pull away, if you had to walk away or just disengage with this person, it took that for them to realize everything that you were to them, how much you made them happy. And now with the lack of your presence there, how much they are missing you, how much they are missing having you in their life to talk to text, to hang out with, to have to come over. And I think, Gemini, even if there were certain conversations you guys did avoid, as far as emotional availability and consideration within the connection itself, there have been some things that you've said to them that's hit their heart space that I don't think you're aware of. They did a good job at covering up and hiding it, but you did say something that has stuck with them. And I do feel, Gemini, the way they look at you, again, they would feel if you were to give them another chance, or if they were to express this and you were to be open to it, to receive it, it would make them so happy. It would make them feel fulfilled. There's some sort of wish fulfillment that they see now having this with you that they didn't before, to be completely honest, for whatever reason. But you are someone that has made them feel a lot more open than anyone else could in their past. Any ex that tried to, no one has been able to make them open up in this way, the way you have, even if it does feel like pulling teeth. What's reading this is the Death card. Scorpio energy. Something has to change. Something has to come to an end. Whether that's their protectiveness, their stubbornness, their wall that they've built up has to come down. But Spirit is also telling you, Gemini, if you guys are kind of giving them the ultimatum, it's the right thing to do. And it's not an easy change for them. It's not an easy process for them to undergo this transformation. Because I feel like for a lot of them, keeping you at bay was a means that felt secure with them. Sorry if you hear some music playing outside. Maybe someone likes to play their music really loud in their car, in their home. But with this Death card reading this, the only way this can work is if something comes to an end. I kind of want to dive deeper into this. I wonder if this is a lifestyle. I wonder if this is a pattern. But even for some of you with this reading, the whole situation, they know the ultimatum is ending this. The end game could be that they lose you forever, and that's something they don't want and they want to prevent. But let's see. Tell me more about this Death card, Spirit, for Gemini and their reading. Here we go. Six of Pentacles and the Emperor. Wow. So can I just point out we officially have the Empress and the Emperor in the reading? So there's definitely divine masculine, divine feminine energy here, counterpart energy here. But the masculine is a lot slower to step up. The Empress, the feminine, has been waiting. And this has nothing to do with gender or sex. We all have masculine and feminine energies, but in counterparts, and most of us, I resonate strongly with being a feminine dominant, definitely. So that's kind of what I'm referring to as far as how someone feels energetically more dominant. And the one that feels feminine has been waiting for the Emperor, the masculine, to kind of act on this, to meet them in this alignment. So you guys can be that power couple that you've picked up on from the start. But maybe there's something with someone's work or putting too much energy or dedication into their work, into their job, that kind of has to end. Not saying their career, not saying their dreams or goals, but it's almost as if someone uses work as an excuse to bail out on plans with you, to cancel things with you. They have to go on certain work trips instead of going through with going to that invite of a party or a festival or a concert with you. You may feel like they just don't prioritize you and your offers, Gemini. And maybe you met this person at work with the Six of Pentacles and the Emperor. This could even be a manager or a boss that you're in with. And I think maybe because of that energy, they don't want controversy happening within the workforce, within the company. Small messages, but maybe something for someone out there. But I do feel with the Death card and the Emperor, what I'm seeing here is someone that feels the need to be in control. And when it comes to love and romance, when it comes to feelings, those are usually things that we find very hard as human beings to control. How we feel, how in depth we could feel, how vulnerable someone's making us feel, how triggered maybe this makes us feel when we get to a certain point in our feelings. And so in some way they learn that just by closing up is the way to protect themselves. But that does have to come to an end if you want to give more attention into this, if you see this going anywhere. And maybe from your lack of attention now, they took note and noticed it. And they regret pushing you away for sure. So, how they see you, and maybe how they see the situation with you up until this point, is the Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. Now, Gemini, I know some readers, some people really stick to their stone and stick to the grit of things about their definitions and perceptions of the cards. Yes, sometimes Seven of Swords can mean sneakiness, betrayal, lying. That's not what I feel here with the Seven of Swords coming from your end. What I feel is that this is the shift in conversation. This is where, Gemini, you don't feel like it's worth opening up anymore. It's worth trying to get them to talk, trying to get them to express themselves. It just, you feel, isn't satisfying anyone, isn't even satisfying you. So you're redirecting. And maybe some of you, they felt like you've kind of gone silent on them out of the blue, which, whether that's true or not, it's like, you know, you weren't going to pick fights anymore. You weren't going to try to force this anymore. So you stepped aside, and maybe you did it a bit silently. Maybe you did it silently on purpose to see what they'll do with it. But, you know, for others of you, I kind of feel like different messages. For some of you with the Seven of Swords, they're afraid that, again, they're really starting to care for you as the Empress, is the dead center of this. They view you as the Nine of Cups. But what if you don't feel the same? What if you're just looking to have a good time? You know, these are the what ifs that still kind of anchor within their minds, that are centered around fear about how you'll react. Will you just cut them out? Will you ghost them? Those are things that are preventing them from opening up, that they see could be a possibility with you, whether that's based in truth or based in fears. Others of you, I have to say, and this is so random and maybe very specific, but there's something about you that reminds them of their ex. I don't know if it's the way you guys kind of look similar, or some sort of, maybe because their ex was also a Gemini, or something that kind of is similar between the two of you. And that's why subconsciously there's some sort of distrust around it. But they've definitely noticed that you're silent with them. And I think they know there's a strategy to that silence that you now have with them, Gemini. And that strategy is getting them to recognize that this could be it, that they could have messed everything up. How you may view them in this situation is the Fool card. Aries energy, Aquarius energy. So you really do want them to take that leap of faith, to just go for it instead of hiding, instead of pushing away, instead of blocking. And you're really hoping that they will do this. But I think a lot of you have put up, like, by the end of the week, by the end of the month, if they don't do this, I'm out. You know, I just have to start anew. And if it can't be with you, it'll be with someone else. I also kind of wonder with work if there's someone that travels a lot for business, or someone may be offered a job where they have to relocate to a different city, which may put a block within this connection naturally, right? And what to do with that. Will they move with you? Would you want to move with them? Only if they show it's worthwhile, right? But you may think of them as detached. You may think of them as aloof. You may think of them as, up until this point, just a little bit immature. They're definitely free spirits, and they like to be independent. But I think they need to realize that that you would honor their independence. You would honor them for doing their own thing. You're not clingy. I don't see that here at all. But it's their choice, you know, and I think that's where you're putting it in their court. You can choose to take the risk to put that leap of faith and to really reveal everything to me, or I'm just going to move on from you. Point blank, period. Well, anyway, Gemini, to see the likely outcome of the situation, what is likely to happen and unfold in this connection. Are they going to open up, express everything, Or are they going to let the opportunity pass by? We're going to go ahead and take this to Vimeo for the extended reading. I'm going to overturn this card here to show you the likely outcome, what they're likely to do in the very near future. Also pull some oracle cards as well. So if you still have unanswered question about this connection, let's get them answered through the oracle cards. So if you'd like to join me for the extended reading, open up the description box and you'll find the link to Vimeo, which will take you to the extended reading. But if this is where you depart, Gemini, I really hope that this reading has resonated with you, has provided you with confirmation, clarity, insight, healing, guidance in regards to whatever is unfolding in your love life or soon will. And if this has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Gemini, very much. And I'll see you next time. Take care, Gemini.